What if I told you everything you knew about living in America could change overnight? And new rules meant you could be deported without warning? That's the reality. Donald Trump has just announced a controversial new immigration rule that is sending shockwaves through the immigrant community. Whether you're undocumented, on a visa, or even a legal immigrant, these new policies could affect you. In this video, we'll break down Trump's 10 new immigration rules that could ban, deport, and punish millions of immigrants in the United States. These aren't just policies. They're life-changing decisions that could split families, remove work permits, and make daily life a nightmare for undocumented immigrants. So before I start this video, please subscribe to the channel and hit that like button because we put a lot of time, effort, and research into creating these videos just for you. So your support really means the world to us. Now let's break them down, one by one. Number 1, immediate mass deportations. Under Trump's new immigration plan, immediate mass deportations would be implemented across the entire country. This means any undocumented immigrant, regardless of how long they've lived in the U.S., could be removed within 24 to 72 hours without a court hearing or legal review. The plan expands the controversial expedited removal policy, which previously applied only near the border, to a nationwide scale. Critics warn that this approach risks wrongfully deporting long-term residents and tearing apart families. However, supporters believe it's a bold step toward reestablishing control over the immigration system and enforcing U.S. laws with speed and certainty. Number 2, revoking DACA. Trump is pushing to permanently end DACA, a program that protects over 600,000 dreamers, undocumented immigrants, who were brought to the U.S. as children and have spent most of their lives here. Under his new plan, no renewals would be granted for existing recipients, and no new applications would be accepted. Once their current protections expire, dreamers would be at risk of deportation. Despite their deep roots in American communities, many serve as nurses, teachers, and military personnel, contributing significantly to society. Still, Trump insists that the rule of law must be upheld, declaring that no one is above the law. Number 3, ending birthright citizenship. Trump's proposal to end birthright citizenship marks a bold and controversial shift in U.S. immigration policy. The plan would deny automatic citizenship to children born in the U.S. if their parents are undocumented immigrants, challenging the 14th Amendment, which has guaranteed this right since 1868. If enforced, thousands of U.S.-born babies could become stateless, lacking legal ties to any country. The move would likely spark immediate legal battles and widespread debate. Supporters argue it will discourage people from abusing the system, while critics slam it as unconstitutional, discriminatory, and harmful to innocent children born on American soil. Number 4, public charge expansion. Trump's plan to expand the public charge rule would make it significantly harder for low-income immigrants to obtain green cards or legal residency. Under the new policy, using public benefits like Medicaid, food stamps, or housing assistance, even in the past, could result in denial of residency. Immigrants would need to prove they are financially self-sufficient, regardless of their current employment or family situation. This change disproportionately affects working-class immigrants, many of whom already contribute through jobs and taxes. Fearing consequences, some families are now avoiding hospitals, schools, and essential services, putting public health and education at greater risk. Number 5, zero tolerance for illegal entry. Trump is preparing to reinstate the zero-tolerance policy, meaning every illegal border crossing would be treated as a criminal offense, regardless of circumstances. This would result in the prosecution of all adults, including parents traveling with children, leading to a return of family separations, and the detention of asylum seekers in large numbers. During his first term, public outrage and legal challenges forced a retreat from this policy, but Trump now vows to enforce it more aggressively. Human rights organizations warn it's cruel and inhumane, while Trump defends it as a strong form of deterrence to stop illegal immigration. Number 6, ending sanctuary cities. Trump is pushing to end sanctuary cities by threatening to cut off federal funding to any city that refuses to fully cooperate with Immigration and Customs Enforcement, IC. Major cities like Los Angeles, New York, and San Francisco could lose millions of dollars in grants for housing, education, and policing. These cities may be forced to comply with ICE detainers handing over undocumented immigrants, even those without criminal records. The plan is expected to trigger intense legal and political battles. Supporters argue it's necessary to uphold law and order, while critics say it's about punishing cities for protecting vulnerable immigrants. Number 7, no asylum for border crossers. Trump's new immigration plan would automatically deny asylum to anyone who crosses the U.S. border illegally, regardless of their circumstances. This means even those fleeing war, gang violence, or political persecution would be barred from applying if they didn't enter at an official port of entry. The policy marks a major break from international asylum standards, which recognize the right to seek protection regardless of how someone enters a country. Legal scholars argue it violates both U.S. and international law, including the Refugee Convention. Still, Trump insists the rule is necessary to prevent fraud and stop system abuse. Number 8, mandatory E-Verify nationwide. Trump's plan to make E-Verify mandatory nationwide would force every U.S. employer to check a worker's immigration status using a federal database before hiring. If a worker can't be verified as legally authorized, they could be denied the job or fired immediately. Businesses that fail to comply could face large fines or even criminal charges. This would directly impact industries like farming, construction, hospitality, and food service, where undocumented labor is common. Supporters believe it would safeguard American jobs and discourage illegal immigration. But critics warn it would destabilize the workforce and devastate families who rely on low-wage jobs. Number 9, NTPS, Temporary Protected Status. Trump is moving to end Temporary Protected Status, TPS, a program that shields over 300,000 immigrants from countries ravaged by war, natural disasters, or political crises. This includes people from El Salvador, Haiti, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Sudan, many of whom have lived in the U.S. for 20 years or more. They've built lives, raised American-born children, paid taxes, and worked legally under U.S. protection. If Trump's plan moves forward, their TPS protections would expire, leaving them vulnerable to deportation. Critics say this would uproot families and destabilize communities. Supporters argue that TPS was meant to be temporary, not permanent. Number 10, mass ICE operations and raids. Trump is planning to restart massive ICE operations and nationwide raids, aiming to crack down on undocumented immigrants across the country. These aggressive actions will target not only undocumented immigrants, but also those who overstayed their visas or have prior deportation orders. Homes, workplaces, schools, even churches and hospitals could become sites of arrest. Families may be separated without warning. The renewed raids create a climate of fear and anxiety, forcing immigrants to avoid public life and essential services. Critics warn that this policy breaks trust, disrupts communities, and endangers public safety by pushing people further into the shadows. So there you have it. 10 Trump-imposed powerful new immigration rules that could reshape the lives of millions. From ending DACA to banning asylum seekers at the border, these policies are more than headlines. They're real changes, with real consequences for families, workers, and communities across America. So what do you think? Are these rules about law and order, or do they cross the line into cruelty? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this video eye-opening, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more global insights. And don't forget to hit the bell so you never miss a new video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.